Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette, and joining me today is Grace Redman. How are you?
I'm great, Bernadette. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to chat with you.
You're so welcome. Grace, what is your story and where about are you, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Mhm.
And my story, my goodness, I have a long story, like probably most of us do. I'm the CEO and founder of Stansbury Staffing and Dare to Achieve, here in the Bay Area. And I've had my businesses for over 26 years. But I think my greatest accomplishment is my family. Been married to my husband for almost 28 years. I have two sons, 22 years old and 25 years old. And I raised them, while building my business. And I think that it was one of the hardest things I've done. And as I look back now, I'm like, I don't know how I did that. But it's amazing sometimes when we have conviction and a vision, nothing stops us.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Um, what was it like raising your kids and pursuing your dream? Because there are so many mothers
Mhm.
who are going through that current situation and they do feel stuck.
Yeah. At that time, and I had my first son when I was 30, and I also started the business at the same time. I was pregnant when I started as an entrepreneur on
Mhm,
this journey. And, it was very challenging because I didn't know what I didn't know.
mhm,
And so now with all of the tools that I have, it's funny, I was telling a colleague yesterday, I wish I knew then what I know now. It wouldn't have been as challenging because as a young mother, I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect.
mm,
And that really, I think, helped burn me out because I was trying to
yeah.
be everything in the business and everything at home, and that's not possible. What I would recommend, a mother who's interested in starting her own business is tap into your community, tap into your resources, and it doesn't mean that we're weak when we ask for help and support.
Mhm.
We can't do this alone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Tell me more about what you do right now. I know you told us in the beginning. Can you dissect it a little bit and the people that you serve and why?
Sure. So I've had the staffing firm for 26 years and my team, runs the firm and I oversee, the team. And what we do at Stansbury is we provide administrative staffing solutions to local organizations, everything from your small, mod pa real estate firm on up to Fortune 500 companies. So we provide talent and we provide career resources to those individuals looking for career support. And on the coaching side, on Dare to Achieve, I work with high performers to really help them uncover the story that's keeping them from elevating to that next level. Because the story that got us from there to here, isn't going to get us from here to there. And so that's really the zone of genius with myself and my team is helping those high performers uncover what's keeping them and helping them create new identities to get to that next level
Mm,
that
yeah,
they're
yeah,
capable of.
yeah. Thank you for sharing. What was the pandemic like with your business? Did it help it or sort of killed it?
Well, there's two pieces to that, because I have both businesses, the staffing and the coaching business. I'm very grateful that on the staffing side, we had, companies that continued to staff. So we were able to keep that going. Did it hurt the business? Absolutely. Our revenue absolutely was down. And that also gave me the opportunity to focus on, the coaching business and growing and starting a podcast and, growing the coaching and speaking side of the business. I was speaking to someone yesterday about the pandemic and I said, it was brutal and we were able to thrive.
Mm, yeah.
Now, could we have been a victim of circumstances? Of course. But we made the decision to, okay, like this is where we're at. Number one, how can we serve the community? Because I've learned through the economic crisis of 2009, the way that we got through that is instead of focusing on ourselves and how terrible it felt, to be in this crisis, we said, let's turn this around and let's focus on who we can serve. And so that's the same thing that we did during the pandemic. And now as I look back, I'm like, man, that was brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
And we learned so much, and we were able to start the podcast, and we were able to really serve the community in ways that maybe we wouldn't have served had we not been going through such a challenge.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. What is the name of your podcast?
So the name of my podcast is Real Talk with Grace Redman, where I connect with people from my circles and communities who've really overcome challenges and created amazing stories. It's been incredible the last 4 years.
4 years. Wow, that's so cool. I
It
think
is.
my podcast is around the same age.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. Um, were there some fears that you had prior to starting a podcast? Do you love public speaking? It doesn't come natural to all of us, not to me at least.
No, I did not love public speaking. Actually, it took me 3 years of fear to just do a Facebook Live. So it took me 3 years doing the work
Sorry.
to
Yeah.
overcome fear. And
Yeah.
so if you told me that I'm going to be hosting a podcast and, you know, becoming a professional speaker, I would think you're crazy. So I had so many fears. And I actually talked about this yesterday. And my fear was, I had a fear of being seen.
Mm,
I had a fear of judgment, and I had a fear of not saying the right thing. If I don't say the right thing, I was going to be attacked.
mm.
And so those were, kind of fears and stories that I had to work through to get to where I am today.
Yeah. Well, Grace, you just shared all my fears publicly.
There you go.
It's out to you guys now. You guys know. Yeah. You see how common this is? The fear. And I find that fear, it's a killer. Sometimes it silently kills our dreams and visions. Sometimes we can see it, we know it, we feel it. Most importantly, some of us do something about it.
Yes.
Some of us don't. Fear of judgment. That's a big one.
Huge,
That's
huge,
a
because
really big one.
I was raised in an environment where you worried about what everybody said about you, what they thought about you. And that created judgment, fear of judgment. And I also grew up in a society where it was very judgmental.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I wanted to move away from being judged, and I wanted to release my own judgment. And so it's been a journey. I'll tell you what, Bernadette, it's freedom,
Oof. Yeah.
to release the judgment of others and
Mhm.
to release the fear of others' judgment.
Yeah. Yeah. And doesn't it feel good to actually doing something that you love and you're serving others through your passion?
Feels
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Can you speak to maybe one or two people or more people, I hope, are gonna listen to this, of how they can overcome their fears?
So, I can talk about my fear of public speaking, my fear of
Mhm.
doing a Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And what I would recommend is start with small steps. And so, what I started to do to overcome that fear was I joined a public speaking group that was online. It was virtual, where each day there was an exercise. Like one day you had to do a live in that group about what your favorite food is. And that's how I started overcoming my fear was I found a space that I felt comfortable and safe in. Well, initially I didn't feel safe. It took time. And so, really, the way to overcome our fear is to, number one, lean into it, feel it,
Mhm.
kind of, own it, like be aware of it, and then do one small thing. I mean, might not be each day, but one small thing towards that. If it's public speaking, like I
Yeah.
said, I joined that group.
Yeah.
It's when we conquer that. Oftentimes, when you do it, and the fear dissipates. It depends on what it is. So when we face that fear and do what it is that we're afraid of, you're like, oh my God, that really wasn't that scary.
You're right. Yeah, I'm learning that because when it was first placed on my heart to start a podcast, Like, no. It's
right?
like the universe keeps bringing things to me and I reject it. I pushed it away. I shut it down. I said, no, I've always been in the background. I want to stay there and I'm not going to do public speaking. It's persistent.
Yes.
We'll notice patterns. We'll even people or send our ways to remind us this is what you need to do. And it's repetitive, and over time we get tired of it, and we're like, okay, we give in.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
Would you say there was like a quiet nudge within you? Was that, where did you feel that when it's just wouldn't go away?
Um, yeah. Um, it's just I go to the library through books. I see different titles that relates to me. And whenever I'm on social media, I keep seeing podcast stuff. If I'm thinking of a specific word, either the same day or the day before or after, I keep seeing anything relating to it. It was just a nudge to do it, to
Yeah,
just do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So you work with people. You must
Yes.
love people.
I- Almost 3 decades working with people. Yes.
Yeah. Working with people in teams or maybe pairs or more, what have you learned about team building and
Mm.
communication?
I've learned to get curious when it comes to communication. And I wish I learned that earlier in my career
Mm,
when I'm dealing with a difficult client or a difficult candidate. I used to take it personal.
mm,
And now I've learned to get curious and step back and ask myself, what could be going on with this person? Because I've learned that they're seeing the situation from their perspective of reality. And so I've learned to ask questions to gain a better understanding for where the person is coming from.
mhm,
And then I'm able to, move forward with a decision or an answer or, a strategy that's going to help us create a win-win situation. And in team building, I share that story that when we're in a situation, let's get curious what the other person can be going through before we respond.
yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, there's always a root to it all.
Yes,
It's never as it seems,
it
even though
really
it is as
is.
it seemed. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, anything else relating to your business you'd like to share?
Relating to my business, well, I just finished a client call before we got on this podcast.
Mhm,
And I just, she's an entrepreneur. She has a $12 million business. She's been in business for, at least 15 years. And
mhm,
now she's starting to do the work of unraveling, the stories that are keeping her from going to the next level.
mhm,
And I love doing what I do because I get to work with these incredible people who've created success and they don't realize, just like I didn't realize, like I was the one keeping myself from going to that next level. And
yeah.
so that's, what I love doing is like unraveling because really what those stories are
Mhm,
our belief system.
mm, yeah,
And
yeah.
so starting to kind of when they have those awarenesses and the light bulb goes on, it's so rewarding. And because I struggled so much in, the prison of my own mind, of my own beliefs,
Mm,
that's why I'm so passionate about working with, entrepreneurs and high performers
mhm,
to let them know like we can have it all. We can create success and feel fulfilled because oftentimes we've created success and we feel empty and
mm,
unfulfilled.
yeah. Well, mic drop. Yeah, that's the absolute truth. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And I love that you shared the prison of your own mind. I'm pretty sure I have a few prisons in there. So when
Right?
people want to put me in theirs, I'm like, nope, I got this.
Right? Right? Oh, I've been in, yes. And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
10 years ago, when I chose to start the coaching side of the business, I went to get certified and I did several certifications. And then that's when I learned, like, oh my gosh, I'm successful. And I knew I was unfulfilled and I felt empty. I didn't realize like, oh my gosh, I created this. And I been, the last 10 years have been so transformative for
Mm,
me. And
yeah.
I feel so much freedom and it just continues to expand. Like when you think you got it, there's another storm and another opportunity to soar and expand
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
just keep moving into a more amplified
Hmm.
freedom, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. How do you deal with conflict?
Mm. I deal with conflict that this same way that when you asked me earlier about team building and communication,
Mhm.
when there's a conflict, saying like I just take a deep breath and I step back and I get curious. I'm like, okay, what's my part in this conflict?
Mhm.
Where could the other person be coming from?
Yeah.
And I don't make it about me.
Mm,
I flip it around like, okay, how can we resolve this? How can I resolve this? Because oftentimes when I'm seeking a resolution for the other person, they're going to feel seen and heard, and then it'll just naturally unfold into a win-win situation.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And also in conflict, we also must express how we feel, however, from a place of presence and a place of kind of being grounded as opposed to a place of fear, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, sometimes in conflicts, I normally look at the person. I'm like, okay. It depends on the situation, but I'm like, did you even eat breakfast? Is that why you?
100%.
Yeah. I'm like, who cut you off from the road? Was it me or
100%.
someone else? Right?
100%.
It could be very tiny little things, and that just explodes.
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have books or a book and what is it about?
I do. So my book is called Can I Live? Dare to Go from Effed Up to Fabulous.
Ooh.
And it's been out for a couple of years now. And I wrote that book because when I was 19 years old, I knew that there was something off in my life. I didn't feel right. And I'm so grateful that I followed my intuition at such a young age. And I started therapy in secret.
Mm,
And I stayed with that same lady on and off for 25 years. So 10 years ago, when I went to begin the coaching side of the business, she said, I want to be honest with you and please don't be offended. When I met you, I felt that there was no hope for you, that you're going to walk down the same path of dysfunction and abuse.
mm,
And I said, I'm not offended at all. That speaks to the resilience of the human spirit. And so my book is really about how the steps and tools that I used to go from that lost little girl to, the empowered woman that I am today.
that's so beautiful. I wonder what the cover looks like. What color?
I have it right here. So this is the book.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That
it's
you're vibrant and
thank you.
yeah, I love that. That's
Thank you.
beautiful.
It was a really fun time. And ironically, right before the book launch, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Ooh.
And my editor or my publisher said, do you want to push this to next year? And I said, no, absolutely not. I don't want to. And literally 2 months after my thyroidectomy, we had the book launch and we had a party.
Mm,
And it was amazing. I wasn't able to, go and tour and market the book the way I wanted to. Um, but yeah, this is a very sentimental, incredible, transformative time for me when I launched that
mm,
book.
mm. Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I don't know. Have you been thinking of doing a different book but similar message, kind of showing the woman that is here right now versus then?
Yes, I have thought about that. And so when people ask me, are you going to write another book? I said, you know what? I'm living the experience right now. And I'll know, I'll get that nudge when the time is right to begin writing. Because I'm a very different person now than I was when I wrote this book. and when I launched the book, because I had again, a life crisis happen right when I launched the book. So yes, I'm
Yeah.
living the book right now, my second book, and then I'll write it when I'm ready.
That's beautiful. How are you doing health-wise?
Thank you so much for asking, Bernadette. When I got diagnosed and in 2022, they told me that I would never be the same again, that my health would decline, and that was, it. And
Yeah.
I said, watch me. And
Yeah.
I am so excited to share with you that, today, 3 years later, I feel better than I ever have. I just turned 55 on Saturday. And
Wow.
if you would have told me this is what my life would look like today, I wouldn't believe you.
Wow. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Did you party?
Yes, girl, we were in Costa Rica. I played with the monkeys. I
That's
climbed
so
the
cool.
waterfalls. Yes, we partied.
Well, maybe you can take me next time
Yes, sister. Anytime.
because I'm about to freeze right here in Canada. So
It's cold here today too, sweetheart.
that's really cool. I've heard a lot about Costa Rica.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. There's an energy there.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's like the mother of earth. Something's in there, like a heartbeat. People go there, and
Mhm.
even before they go there, they talk about it. They feel something. I don't even know what it would be like to actually be there.
I just got the chills because you're right. I mean,
Mm.
what they're saying is true. And Costa Rica was even never on my bucket list. And
It
my husband
wasn't?
would say, no, it wasn't. One day he's like, do you want to go to Costa Rica? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, being in the jungle, you're right. It has a sexy energy, a passionate energy. It's just
Mhm.
and also a chaotic energy. It does. It has life, and it's amazing. I feel like I came back a changed person, because when you're in the jungle, everything works in harmony together.
Yeah,
And I feel like us humans, we create so much chaos, our own chaos. Like we are our problem.
yeah.
And seeing the jungle, how it works in harmony reminds me, I mean, I have a very strong faith, and it reminds me that there's a power greater than us at work. Like, how is this whole thing moving in such harmony?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so it was an incredible experience. I'm so grateful to have had that experience.
Will it be in your book, maybe?
For sure.
Awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
for that reminder, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. That's really cool. That's so cool. Were you there for a long time, or I don't know what the heat was like or the temperature.
I know. We were there. It was actually low season, which I'm grateful for because I'm learning now that we went to Hako Beach, and Hako Beach is known for being wild and crazy. However, in the few days that we were there, it wasn't wild and crazy. We had a great time, riding the horses, climbing the waterfalls, had some
Mm,
delicious food.
yeah.
Um, it was warm a couple of days,
Mhm,
and there were a couple of days that we were, caught in the rainforest
mhm.
rain storms,
Yeah.
which was actually exhilarating and felt amazing.
Mhm.
It was just an incredible place to be. La Fortuna, where the volcano is spectacular. We were able to go to the hot springs.
Mhm.
I really, it was the most free that I've ever been in my life, to tell you frankly.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible. I
was.
wonder if they probably have that thunderstorms that
Yes.
shakes the ground and lightning.
Yes, that's what I was trying to communicate, and I get it. So thank you for communicating. Yes, they were like wild, crazy thunderstorm, like it was storm like I've never seen before, and it just felt exhilarating, um
Yeah.
to be in it. And then within an hour, it's like everything was clear.
Mhm.
So I feel like Costa Rica for me was just an incredible metaphor for life.
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
It really was.
yeah, yeah. They have those storms in Haiti, and where I'm from, it's so bad. And they have them right here in Canada in the, I think spring or I don't know. They just happen. As soon
Yeah.
as I see lightning, I'm out. So,
Yeah, I definitely saw lightning. I mean, we had
yeah.
some, beautiful scenery. So again, it was an unexpected trip, and I'm grateful. I feel like it was very, I feel like it was also very spiritual because it was, on we were there for my birthday. I was turning 55, kind of going through dark night of the soul. And then once I got there, I feel like I was able to clear everything and like step into this new freedom. But
Yeah.
that's kind of the work we do. Like the storms that we face help get us to that next level if we choose.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Is there anything that you want people to know about your journey? Let's say they're going through similar situation. You're still going through. Life is a journey. It's never it never ends. There are just different seasons. Sometimes they're a bit more pleasant than others. What would you say to those people?
I would say that our mindset is really 90%. And again, when I was 19 years old, that therapist believed that I wouldn't succeed, that, I wouldn't amount to anything.
Mm,
And I want them to, whoever's listening, that despite your circumstances, you can absolutely, achieve what's on your heart because it wouldn't be on your heart if it wasn't possible.
mm. Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah. And what a beautiful way of her communicating that, and what an incredible way of you receiving it.
Mm,
I literally did a video about criticism and feedbacks because we often take it the wrong way.
totally.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
For
And
sure.
yeah.
And there's also, I'm open to feedback and, constructive um criticism. Also, who's giving it?
Oh, yeah.
Consider the source. Now, if it's, a troll on social media, that doesn't, I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
If it's one of my mentors, my coaches, my dear friends who I know
Mm.
have my best interest at heart, I'm listening and I'm making that change.
Yeah, 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 I agree. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you. So Grace, what do you want people to get out of this episode?
What I want them to get is that, you know, we get to navigate and create the life that we live. And really, it starts with one being committed and consistent and disciplined to the actions we take, and also taking accountability for our part. Being in a victim mindset is not going to get us to where we're going. And so, looking, where are you putting blame? And really kind of taking accountability and bringing it back to yourself and seeing, what is my part? Take ownership of that and then take a different action.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Do you have any projects you're working on?
I am. We're actually working on a new website and I'm really excited. I'm really holding the vision that we're able to launch it
Mhm.
by, December 31st into the world. I'm excited about that.
Mhm.
And with that, we're creating a VIP day to work with me out. It's a 5 hour day where it'll include just we sit down, we deep dive, kind of look at your goals, see where you want to go, and uncover what the stories are and start crafting your future self.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited that we're adding a VIP day. Right now you could work with me one-on-one and you can hire me for speaking engagements, and we're adding the VIP day, which I'm super excited about. And that could be done. We could do that virtually. However, I would definitely recommend that be done, here in person, in the San
Mhm.
Francisco Bay Area where I am.
I'll be a VIP.
Right on, sister. And whoever
Yeah.
is watching and they mention the VIP day, I will
Mhm.
definitely, provide them with a really, a nice discount to that. And for you too, Bernadette,
Awesome.
100%.
Awesome. Amen. Awesome. I have two questions for you as we wrap up. The first one is, what is the meaning of life for you?
Mm. Wow, I just got emotional.
Oh,
Ugh. The meaning of life for me is really being connected to our creator
yeah.
and moving through the world in a Christ-like way. I mean, whatever, this is not about religion. So I really appreciate the principles.
Mm,
That's what it means to me.
mm. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Don't know why I just got so emotional, but
It's okay. It's a release, something that needed to come out or said, and it happened. Yeah.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
think because I had a conversation about this yesterday with someone, and that we went very deep. And
Mm,
in that conversation, we both felt like a sense of peace.
yeah.
And and that's what it's about, like being connected and deepening my connection to the creator, deepening my spiritual connection, being the best person that I can, being of service.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Mm,
it's funny, as we're talking yesterday, someone reached out and she needed support.
mhm.
And I really wanted, just to have some time to myself. And then I leaned into, lead into service and just being there for her. And that's what it means. That's what the purpose is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
Beautiful.
it's
Thank you for sharing. Thank you
about.
so much. Thank you. Where can people find you and connect with you?
Yes, they can find me at www.graceredman.com or www.daretoachieve.com, and that will lead you to Real Talk, the podcast, my book, a blog. We have hundreds of hours of, free content that if you're, going through a storm and you're finding yourself stuck, you could definitely find something there that will help inspire you and kind of help you make that, take that step to get to where you want to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Grace, for um, blessing me with your presence, your story, for trusting me to ask you a bunch of questions.
Thank you. You're amazing. I love your energy. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Come back anytime. I'll
I
be.
would love
Thank
you.
you.